YouTube, this is Way Too Long, coach of the FC Seviper 4, bringing you week number 7 of the PFL. This time we're up against the Manitoba Mawiles, coached by Vergi. And as you have seen in the intro, we have a brand new team logo. It was made by the founder of the other league I'm in, the JBA, JTax. Thanks man for making this logo, because let's be honest, it looks so much better than the old logo. I made it myself on Paint. I did my very best, but as you've seen, the new logo, it does actually look so much better. It's also made on Paint, but yeah, it resembles the original logo from the team my team is based off so much more. The Seviper looks just better. And thanks to JTax for letting me use the logo for now, for my videos, for my league videos. Yeah, and as always I have a team builder, and here on the screen for like a minute now you can see our opponent's team. I looked at the video from last week, and with the little team above my team, I don't know, I didn't really like this, so I will just show my opponent's team here in the beginning. This is from my personal sheets where I keep track of the things that happen in the PFL. And as we see, our opponent has Dragon, Mega Gardevoir, Sneasel, Suicune, Conkeldurr, Shaman Sky, Electivire, Starmie, Jirachi, no more Heatran, but also Mesprit, Crobat and Scrafty. And this here now is our team for the week. I really have to look up how I make this to cover the full screen of the video, but that is a minor problem right now. So to start things off, we have basically our team captain, our Mega board every week so far. Basketball, the Mega Manectric. Of course, with Intimidate we have Lightning Rod before Mega Evolve. And similar to last time we battled the Manitoba Mawiles, we have Hidden Power Ground for the Electivire, and Flamethrower. Hidden Power Ground, of course, because his only switch into a good electric type attack from Mega Manectric is the Electivire, to suck that off with Motor Drive, get a speed boost. We don't want that, so we have Hidden Power Ground. He may predict us going for this on a switch in, so I might have to trigger spot. We have other moves to go for, of course. Then we do not have Thunderbolt, we have Discharge, and this is mainly because as you've seen when I showed the team in the beginning, I also have the stats there, and his team has a lot of speedy mons, a lot of things that can outspeed most of my Pokemon that are not Mega Manectric. And Discharge, it is just a little bit weaker than Thunderbolt, but we have a much higher chance to Paralyze. So like the last time we battled the Mawiles, when we had Thunder Wave, Shenanigans, Paralyze, yeah, we're going for the same strat, basically. Trying to paralyze everything but the Electivire, which we cannot paralyze. Yeah, and of course let's talk about the last move on Basketball set, which is Iron Tail. It's quite funny. We have Iron Tail here, mainly, of course, basically just for Mega Gardevoir, which can OHKO Mega Manectric with a Hyper Voice. But also, as you see on our EV spread, we are Timid Nature, minus attack, 4 investment in attack, and we have a base 75 attack stat. But Iron Tail, it still does like 55 to 60 or 50 to 60% to a Mega Gardevoir, which is huge considering the low attack stat of Mega Manectric and negative attack nature. Just shows how physically weak Mega Gardevoir basically is. But of course, Iron Tail, it is the only physical steel type move Mega Manectric gets, and it is only 75% accurate. I'm fully aware of this. Well, it would be so clutch to see God of War with like 59% taken from switches in, takes a hit, goes down to 50%, and then goes for Hyper Voice because it thinks it can live the next hit we go for. But then we go for Iron Tail, hit it, and destroy the Mega God of War. I wanted to bring Iron Tail in the first match, week 2, when we versed Vergi, but I thought it was too risky for a week 2 game. Now we're in week 7. Of course, we're not sealed for the playoffs, but I thought let's bring it. This is basically the only chance, only time it makes even sense on Mega Man Electric to have Iron Tail. So let's go for that for the Lords. Then we have Keyleth, the mill tank, with leftovers this time, not choice scarfed, but like last week we have Seviper, and this is because like last week we're facing a shaman. We're facing a shaman like 2 weeks in a row now. Last week we had regular shaman. This time we have the much more dangerous, faster, hard hitting shaman Sky. But still, if we can switch this in on a Seed Flare, we get a nice little attack boost. But we're not scarfed, but I expect our opponent to do this, to think we're scarfed, since we bought a scarfed Seviper last week. And also, last game he brought a scarfed shaman to outspeed our Mega Man Electric. And if he's scarfed this time and locks himself into the Seed Flare, he pretty much has to switch out against Miltank, and this will be the chance for our 4 very offensive moves. We can take most other hits from our opponent's Pokemon that are faster than Miltank. Most of it, and we have Ice Punch, of course, for Shaman Sky, mainly for Crobat also, but also for Crobat and mainly for Conqueror, which, if you remember the first match, Conqueror and Miltank, this was my big choke. We have Zen Headbutt this time at +1, this does a lot of damage to Conqueror, clean 2-shot. We also have Earthquake for stuff like Electivire and a really strong stab move with Double Edge. And Double Edge is also the reason why we have leftovers on Keyleth, so I want it to be as long on the field as it can, recovering damage it has from Double Edge. And mainly it would be if our opponent, if the best case emerges, it's a Scarf Shaman Sky going for Seed Flare, we switch in Miltank, get the attack boost, and then I just go for Double Edge, since this would still, even if it's not Scarf, do a lot of damage to the Shaman Sky, and we also can hit pretty much everything on the opponent's team with a +1 Double Edge. And then take it out the next turn with a super effective move and recover from Double Edge recoil. So then, also like last match, we have Jocelyn the Granbull, also holding the leftovers. I also might swap that out for Assault Vest, like we had, but we had Assault Vest last match, so maybe he expects us to bring it this time. Right now we have leftovers, I may swap this. I have Play Rough, of course, to hit stuff like Scrafty and Conqueror. Again, we have Wild Charge for Starmie and Suicune. If you remember last time, thanks to Parahex, Granbull took out the Suicune with 3 Wild Charges. We also have Crunch for Mesprit, for example, and we have Earthquake for Electivire. With a lot investment in HP, full investment in attack with Adamant Nature, some investment in speed 52, which will guarantee us to which at least outspeeds a regular competitive Dradigon. Of course, this is where we have the play rough for, and regular Dradigon also has some speed investments, goes to 137, and we are now 139 in case anyone expects us to speed creep this a little bit, so we speed creep back a little too. Then up next we have basically another team captain, a really valuable player for us, King One of the Slow King, holding the Cobra Berry, this time back with Regenerator. This week I will not bring our counter set, but like the last match we have Thunder Wave and Hidden Power fighting. Maybe he brings Sneasel this time, we can live a knockoff thanks to Cobra Berry and kill the Sneasel with the Hidden Power fighting. We also have Psychic if we have to face the Conkeldurr or catch it on switch in, and we also have Dragon Tail in case our opponent wants to set up, and then we can phase him out with the Dragon Tail. We have almost full investment in HP, of course, to get an uneven HP stat, some investment in defense, full investment in special defense. So King Wolf is mainly a wall here, special wall. And with our next team member, finally, what I expected in the draft already, we have Pastafari the Tango with Regenerators, and this will be the first time we're in week 7. And I anticipated it in the draft to bring a Regenerator core, and finally I get the chance to use this. We have Rocky Helmet, of course, since Pastafari is our physical wall. With Rocky Helmet we can do some nice damage to our opponent. We can get back a lot of health with Regenerator. We have Knockoff for switch-ins. We have Leech Seeds for residual damage and stalling out our opponent. We also have Power Whip for a really strong stab move. Really, there's not much except for like Dradigon that wants to take a Power Whip on the switch in, and we also for switch ins, if our opponent has a physical threat out and we switch in Pastafari and he wants to switch into like Mega Gardevoir, or the Shaman would be pretty safe, I guess. But guess if Shaman is gone thanks to Miltank, he switches in Mega Gardevoir and Tangrowth, and we just get the Sleep Powder, just like Iron Tail, 75% chance to hit, and have a huge threat on our opponent's team taken to sleep, which would be amazing. And just like Slowking, just kind of reversed, we have 248 EVs in HP, full investment with the Impish Nature in defense, and also 8 EVs in attack for knockoff and Power Whip. And last but not least, we have something like last week. Not on Slowking this time, but this time on Artifact, our Xatu, which will have the role, if you have seen my JBA matches, this Xatu this time has pretty much the role of Masquerain in my JBA team. This time we have Focus Sash, Carmine, Baton Pass, we have Tailwind for a little speed control, and we also have Dazzling Gleam to hit Conkeldurr, Scrafty and Dradigon, and we have Synchronize. And just like last week, of course, Magic Bounce would be so much better to have on Artifact, but it is also expected, so maybe we can do a good, maybe Xatu is even a good lead against Dradigon, maybe going for Carmine first turn. Dradigon won't go for Stealth Rocks, expecting the Magic Bounce. Yeah, but we have to have Synchronized, because just like last week with Counter and Regenerator on Tempo, Baton Pass is a special move for Xatu from Pokemon Gale of Darkness, and same reason as last week. there was no hidden abilities in Gale of Darkness, no magic bones for Xatu. All it had was synchronized, so the only legal way for me to have Baton Pass on Xatu is to have synchronized. And since I haven't done a team builder for the first week of the PFL, I pretty much brought the same thing with Calm Mind and Baton Pass in our first week against the Chicago White Sox, but we didn't get to use it thanks to the crit from Keldeo. And just like I do this regularly on Masquerade, pretty much the same EV spread here, almost full investment in HP, like all these mons like Slowking, Tangrowth, Xatu. If you put full investment in HP 252, they all get an even HP stat. This is stupid. I want to have as much HP as I can, but of course uneven is most cases basically better. Yeah, full investment in speed and some investment in special attack, if we can power that up with Core Mind and then go for Dazzling Gleam. Just like with Masquerade, we have one chance to set up and Baton Pass thanks to Focus Dash. And I hope it will work out for me here. Maybe I'm Bold Nature now, maybe I should change this to Timid, so we have even more speed, can outspeed our opponent, and yeah, this might be better. So after this long team builder this time, I don't have much more to say, except for, yeah, we're going for Paralysis. Which is kinda mean, but if it works, we go to the playoffs. If we win this, the playoff spot is sealed for us. Yeah, this would be awesome, so I hope for some no, I won't say I hope for Paralysis, because that's mean. Yeah, and now let's jump into the match. So here we are in the match, and as you see, our opponent's team is pretty similar to the last time we battled, except for Mesprit, which is this time not on our opponent's side. Instead there's the Jirachi that he traded for Heatran, and I immediately see that though I'm prepared for Shaman to face it in the battle, it destroys me from the start. So if he leads with Shaman, I'm a little back behind, because Electric does not outspeed before Mega Evolving, so I have a problem there. And a lot of the others cannot really take hits except for the Slowking, which is of course, especially bulky, can take one Seed Flare, but then again really badly. Also thanks to Assault Vest, Granbull could take one hit, and yeah, we did this in the first match against the Mawiles, that Granbull was Assault Vested to take a hit and also had Ice Fang. We don't have Ice Fang this time, but I think if he leads Shaman, I lead Granbull. He might get scared of the Assault Vest Live and then the Ice Fang, so it switches out. So I decide to lead with Granbull, as indeed our opponent leads with Shaman. But unfortunately he does not get scared, he goes for the SHS, crits me also as I go for Play Rough to do a lot of damage, but I get crit flinched, which is very unfortunate right from the start. So I go into King Wolf, specially bulky, to take the next hit. We see our opponent loses some damage, some health to the life orb, so he's not scarfed. And he switches out, probably fearing me living one Seed Flare and going for the Ice Beam, as I decided to Paralyze, so we have a Paralyzed Jirachi, which is not bad. It shouldn't be flinch shenanigans here, as I go into Basketball, but the Jirachi breaks through Para and sets up Stealth Rocks. So this is pretty free for me to Mega Evolve, as the Gardevoir comes in, traces my static, not for long. I Mega Evolve expecting the Electivire here and going for a safe Flamethrower. This time I get a crit, which does nice 50%. And now I just went for the Iron Tail because Iron Tail, as I said in the team prep, does like 51 to 60% to a Mega Gardevoir, so it will basically the crit brought it into perfect range for me to kill. But also like a Thunderbolt would have killed here at this point, and he obviously expected that, seeing me going for the safe like Thunderbolt and killing the Gardevoir. And of course, as long as Electivire is here with Motor Drive, I'm in a lot of problems, so I went for Iron Tail because it's, in my opinion, was safer than going for Discharge, which wouldn't have killed. And indeed, Electivire comes in and we miss the Iron Tail. We get a 25% chance to miss. And here, of course, I know Hidden Power Ground does only 79 to 91%, so Electivire will definitely live one Hidden Power Ground and can destroy me. With an Earthquake, I bring in Pastafari to take the Earthquake, to take any physical hits. As he goes for a Volt Switch, quits me again. And also loses some health to Life Orb. Just like a Shaman. Back into Gardevoir, which traces my Regenerator, which was a pretty smart switch in here. As he goes back again, this time into Jirachi. I should have gone for knockoff here, but I switch out, getting the crit health back with Regenerator, this time into King Ralph. We're up against Jirachi. This time this does not bring us a lot, since Jirachi is already paralyzed, so Thunder Waving it would make no sense. I go back into Basketball as Jirachi goes for the Wish. Switches out immediately, this time into Conkeldurr, expecting me this time to predict Electivire or Gardevoir going for Flamethrower. And Conkeldurr immediately gets all the health, all the 20% back with the Wish. Of course, here I know Conkeldurr destroys also my Manectric, so I get in my Grand Ball, sack it off, get at least the Intimidate drop working for me, as Grand Ball goes down to the knockoff. So it didn't get to kill in this match. So I see the perfect opportunity here to go into Xatu. I know he has knockoff, but of course he is -1 attack. Unfortunately, we did let the Stealth Rocks happen, so our Focus Sash is broken, but I at least see one opportunity to set up a Calm Mind and Baton Pass this. As I do, I kind of expect the team to switch out here, fearing like a strong Psychic type attack, but he goes for knockoff and we live on 7%. And then on the switch into Jirachi, we go for the Baton Pass, which could have revealed that we're not Magic Bones. I don't know if he realized that at this point, so we go into Basketball, which is now +1 special attack and special defense. We go for Flamethrower, which does a lot of damage to Jirachi. It gets the Wish again, no Para Hex. And here, instead of switching out, he stays in, lets Jirachi goes down to the Flamethrower. The Wish is wasted. And I thought here I might be in a good position as the Electivire comes in. Because now, as I said before, the Hidden Power Ground would have done 79 to 93%, which does only count for +1 special attack. So at this point before in the match it wouldn't have done enough. So I see Electivire is at 91%. We have the chance to kill here with Hidden Power Ground. I go for it and we get 80%. Minbo was 79, so we got like one of the lowest votes possible. And if Electivire doesn't even get brought down enough so it will kill itself with its own life orb. Yeah, it's unfortunate, as of course Earthquake goes off, Manectric goes down, and it holds on 1% with the life orb. But we were pretty lucky here ourselves, kind of, because as Vergi revealed here, the Electivire wasn't even supposed to be a life orb, it was supposed to be Scarfed, which would have of course outsped Manectric and killed it with the Earthquake. But still, we get low rolls. So here I go back into Pastafari, of course, to take the hits, to take even a Volt Switch. He goes for Wild Charge, just kills himself, overkills itself, basically to Rocky Helmet and Recoil. Thankfully it gets killed by the Rocky Helmet, so Tangrowth gets the kill. Counted for him here. Good for the kill count. Of course knockoff fails because there's no target. Gardevoir comes back in again, traces the Regenerator. And here of course he knows Hyper Voice will absolutely destroy me, so I have to switch out. If he had gone for Hyper Voice, so I go into Xatios to sack it off with the Stealth Rocks. But the Gardevoir does not go for Mega Evolves, does not go for Hyper Voice, predicts my switch and goes for Calm Mind. So would have I gone for the Power Whip on Tangrowth, it would have destroyed the Gardevoir. So I go into my Special Ball, King Wolf comes back, tanks pretty much an Energy Ball with 63%, and here I Thunder Wave the Gardevoir, which works pretty much good for me, because Gardevoir is at this point faster as everything that is left for my team. And I thought he did go for Energy Ball once. Maybe he goes for it twice. I see the opportunity for my Sap Sipper. Bring in Miltank, and we see indeed Energy Ball goes off. We get our nice attack boost. Of course we outspeed now, thanks to the Para. I just go for Double Edge, which is the only thing that destroys Gardevoir at this point. And with this, phase 2 of Project Teamwork is completed. Miltank was the last one on our team to get a kill. She gets the kill, and now every of our 12 drafted Pokemon has gotten a kill. We are the only team where this happened so far. The New York Metanks were close, but the free agency traded Dawnfan, which is now no longer a part of the team, did not get a kill, so that doesn't really count, at least in my opinion. And it's not really important, it's just a nice little side fact, I think. So we restore some health with leftovers, just as I planned it. The Conkeldurr comes in, and yeah, I cannot one-shot it, not even with Double Edge. If this Conkeldurr is a Sword Vest, the Double Edge does like at max 74%. So I go for Zen Headbutt, which would do 66% at max, but of course I hope for a little flinch. Maybe we get even here with the flinch and crit count. I go for the Zen Headbutt, get again a pretty low roll with 56%, and of course no flinch here. Knock off, we lose our leftovers, and Miltank goes also down to the Mach Punch. And for the second time in the season, Miltank goes down to Conkeldurr. I have no other choice than to go into... I have another choice. I go into King Ralph to get some Regenerator health back for later in the match. As you see here, I switch out back into Tangrowth, which is basically my better switch into Conkeldurr since it can take physical hits. We get knocked off, again we get critted. Conkeldurr loses some health to the Rocky Helmet. We miss our Power Whip. Poison Jab does a lot of damage, gets the low chance of poisoning us. So this turn, like the whole battle, pretty unlucky, and of course Mach Punch finishes off Pastafari, which has nice defense, about 13%. Against Conqueror's good, at more than decent attack stat, it's no problem. Now all what is left is King Wolf, who gets also knock off, but thanks to Cobra Berry we get not killed by the knock off, get the chance to at least get another kill with Psychic, 25% now, and of course Shaman just comes in and could go for Seed Fair, but he isn't really risking this miss, he's risking the air slash miss and destroys King Wolf here. This was a pretty quick battle. We got a little unlucky here, but I think since we had some luck in the first match with the paralysis, especially on the Suicune, which didn't even get to do anything in this match. Yeah, I think we're kind of even here with the hacks in our games. It was a pretty quick match. I thought also it was a good match. Like the biggest mistake here from my side was again like prepping. I guess choice Scarf Miltank with +1 locking myself into double edge would have done way more for me, since at least we could have outsped Shaman at any time since it's not scarfed. And yeah, I think this is the main problem. Maybe I should have bought something to remove the Stealth Rocks, or even get safe we don't have the Stealth Rocks on that side. They didn't mess up us that much, but of course we got a broken focus dash from it. But after all, everything I planned, I got pretty much off. I got some nice switching with our Regenerator Core. I got the Core Mind Baton Pass. I got the Sapsipper boost on Miltank. Yeah, which didn't really help. Yeah, we got a little unlucky here, and at least I prefer these losses to being unlucky than just to being completely stupid, making really bad mistakes, which I didn't. Again, I didn't think that kind of mistakes really happen here. So GG to Vergi, and congrats to for the Manitoba Mawiles, to making the playoffs in our division here, in our conference. And we have a pretty exciting last match against the Green Bay Leafs in front of us, since they had a little run in this in the second half of the season, and they're now 1 win behind us. We have exactly the same differential, so even if we lose 1-0 next week, we are out of the PFL, which yeah, it wouldn't be that bad to happen, since this is my very first draft league. It definitely was a lot of fun so far, except for maybe some problems with the match planning. Yeah, but if we lose next week, I will have a little speech for this. So I'm pretty much excited now. And the downside to this is I plan to do some really crazy sets in our last match here, if we make it to the playoffs early. But of course now we can't bring stuff like this, like physical Slow King or Zen Mode Manhattan. Yeah, some kind of shenanigans was planned. Of course now I cannot risk this in order to at least attempt to make the playoffs. So I'm excited for next week's match, which I probably have on Saturday, no, on Friday. On Saturday is another match. Yeah, and I see you to the next match, and peace out.